So the Yankees are clearly looking for another front line pitcher. And I want to ask you, who's the better fit? Blake Snell or Corbin Burnes? Let's get into this one right now. Hey gang, what's going on? Been busy day. If you haven't seen my video this morning about the Toronto Blue Jays signing Justin Turner, most likely to replace Matt Chapman, go take a look at that. And I put out a short a little while ago, and I wanted to elaborate on the short right now because we got some reporting that Bob Klapisch reported that the Yankees have moved on from Blake Snell and pulled their offer. Yeah, they were the only offer that he officially had, as far as we know. And they're apparently going to go all out for Corbin Burnes at the trade deadline. Okay. And there are some pros and cons to both. Okay. So let me break down. I mean, Blake Snell is a two-time Cy Young Award winner. Okay. He won in 2018 with the Tampa Bay Rays. He was 21-5 with a 1.89 ERA, 221 strikeouts, and 180 innings pitched. And then he won this past year, 14-9 with a 2.25 ERA, 180 innings pitched again, and 234 strikeouts. So with 99 walks. So, well, in between years is the thing, right? In between, in 2019, he threw 107 innings. 2020, 50 innings, but that's the COVID season. Can't really factor that one. It's only 60-game season, so nobody threw a lot of innings. 2021, 128 innings. 2022, 128 innings. So there's been problems with innings pitched for him, but there's no taking away he's won 2 Cy Young Awards. None. Okay, that's in the history books. He'll forever be a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Corbin Burnes doesn't have the lengthy career. He's also a year younger, or a year plus younger than Blake Snell, but he did win the Cy Young Award in 2021 when he went. Where did he go? 18-7 or something like that. Yeah, 167 innings pitched, 234 strikeouts. Okay, with a pretty impressive repertoire here. And then he also threw 28 games that year, 33 games in 2022, 32 games last year. So the portrait of durability is there. Okay, he had 202 innings pitched in 2022, 193 this past year, and 167 in 2021. So, the ability to go late in games and to be a problem for teams late in games is something that Corbin Burnes is known for. Okay. And again, I want to make this clear. I'm not taking anything away from Blake Snell. Okay. And I'm just going to pull up Corbin Burnes here again because I want to give you his records for the last 3 years. For some reason, that didn't copy on my end. He was 10-8 this past year. Okay. 10-8 this past year in 2022, 12-8, 11-5 in 2021. So, and again, why does it make him better? And he had a 2.43 ERA in 2021, 2.94 in 2022, 3.39 in 2023. So consistency is there as well. But the innings pitched body of work is there. Not a pretty low walk rate as well, and doesn't give up a ton of home runs either. So 34 walks in 2021, 51 in 2022, 66 2023. So walks aren't as much of an issue for him as they are with Blake Snell. But a couple things happen here, okay? Blake Snell did ask for $30 million a year. The Yankees offered him a 6-year, $150 million deal, okay? He turned it down. And, yeah, he countered with, or Scott Boras countered with 9 years, $270 million, which is $30 million per, okay, for 9 years. Corbin Burnes is also a Scott Boras client, so he's going to be just as expensive. And I could see him getting $30 million a year, but there are a couple different caveats here, okay? Number one, we know that the Yankees are over the Cohen threshold. So $25 million to $30 million a year for for Blake Snell in free agency equals $50 to $60 million that they're paying out as long as they're over the Cohen threshold, okay? If they pivot and they somehow acquire a Corbin Burnes at the trade deadline, he's already scheduled to make $15.8 million this year in arbitration. Cut that in half if he gets acquired at the trade deadline. So that becomes about just under $8 million. Multiply it by 2 or close to it, because that's where the outlay would be regardless. So it would essentially be what he would have made the full year, which is essentially a half of what Blake Snell's asking for and a quarter of what Blake Snell would actually cost the Yankees. So Breaking down that math is pretty crazy. Now he is a free agent after this year, so he likely will get 30 million bucks a year again. But in the Yankee situation too, they most likely have Gleyber Torres moving on. Most likely have Alex Verdugo moving on, getting qualifying offers most likely, and getting Yankees getting some prospects and draft and international money. So draft picks and international money. So that's a good thing. So they can pursue international. And they're already closely linked to some of the top international players over the next 2 years. So as much as they could get, better for them. But that also clears up anywhere from 25 to almost 30 million bucks for a pursuit of a Corbin Burnes. And let's just say he costs 30 million a year. And I could see if somebody's going to get 30 million a year for probably 6 or 7 years, I could see Corbin Burnes getting it before Blake Snell. Okay, he is a year younger. He's shown a better portrait of durability over the last 3 years consistently. And when you put it up against guys like Dylan Cease, also 30-plus starts, also 200-plus innings, okay, that durability remains. Now, Cease has 2 years of control versus 1 for Corbin Burnes. But if the White Sox move down off their asking price, then I can see the Yankees maybe getting involved in a Dylan Cease sweepstakes. But the overall top guy, in my opinion, is Corbin Burnes. And I think a lot of folks tend to agree with that. Some folks might not be, and that's fine too. But I can't think of a more scary duo up top than Cole and then Burnes being the 1-2 rotation guys that you have to face in a series or in the playoffs. That would suck for opposing teams. And then you add Rodon if he's the number 3, and Stroman if he's the number 4, or vice versa. If they're healthy and productive, that's a ridiculous 1-4. Ridiculous 1-4. But if they can somehow get him at the trade deadline and really, really put themselves over the top, if they're in contention, and they want to put themselves in contention as much as possible so that they have a better chance at extending guys like Juan Soto. Okay, they have Trent Grisham for a whole other year too, but Alex Verdugo and Gleyber Torres move on. And then after this year, not only those guys, but the year after that, Aaron Hicks money comes off the books. The year after that, DJ LeMahieu's money comes off the books, and then the year after that, Giancarlo Stanton's money comes off the books. So upwards of almost $100 million coming off the books these next 3 or 4 off seasons. Okay, which would more than make up for guys like Corbin Burnes, and you can balance him with younger guys like Will Warren or Henry Lane or Chase Hampton or one of these guys, Clayton Beater, right? And some of their young prospect players too: Spencer Jones, Jason Dominguez, Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells. Okay, but particularly guy number 1, Blake Snell, 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Again, guy number 2, Corbin Burnes. All right, and Corbin Burnes to me represents the better fit for the Yankees. I wouldn't say he represents a better fit for every team, and I wouldn't say that I'd be upset if the Yankees got Snell. But if they had offered him that contract and he took it before they were over the threshold, the current threshold, then I'm going to keep pointing it out. People seem to not care, but the Yankees clearly do. So, and it would seem to be only a handful, not even a half a handful of guys that they were willing to go over the threshold for and spend big money for. Snell was one of them. Burnes was another. But Burnes wasn't available because the Brewers are in contention. They feel like they're going to be in contention this year. And they've added Rhys Hoskins too. So, but I could see the Yankees making a full court press for Corbin Burnes at the trade deadline. Bob Clappish reporting seems to corroborate that as well. So keep that in mind, gang. But I want to get your take on this, okay? Make sure you're subscribed to this channel, by the way. Okay, please do if you haven't subscribed yet before you go. And hit the notification button. That always makes sure you're in the front of the line. When reports come in, news comes in, you'll know exactly when I go live too. I go live at least twice a week, usually Wednesdays and Saturday nights. So welcome to come join us. I'd love to get your feedback and get to know you as a person and as a fan, and and get your insights on stuff. And if you want to be heard, you can be heard. So this is a great time, our live stream. So, and if you find yourself enjoying the content, hit the thumbs up too. I thank you so much for that. But who's your thing? Who's your take on the better fit? Is it Burnes? Is it Snell? And again, I'll make this clear. If they had gotten Snell, I would have been fine with that. But they have an opportunity to maybe get Burnes, and Burnes does not want to come back to Milwaukee. They've already kind of burned their bridges. They have a strained relationship. So he's going to be a free agent. He's going to test free agency next year. And if the Yankees can somehow get him here and put themselves in a position to have a guy like that, and I don't think they'll have a problem giving an extension to Burnes and giving an extension to Soto. That would be money well spent, and they'd have building blocks Cole and Burns, Judge and Soto. 2 offense, 2 pitching. My God. As well as everybody else they have here. Hands down. Game over. That's what my thoughts are. Let me know what your thoughts are, gang. Let's get into it.